Hey there, I'm Robert and welcome back to Tone King's Basement. So today, oh man, we've got here undoubtedly one of the most anticipated pedals of the year, if not the most, and it's sitting right here on my pedalboard, and this is the Cornerstone NUCLEO, the signature reverb pedal of none other than Paul Davids. Yes, that Paul Davids, the Obi-Wan Kenobi and savior of guitar YouTube. But before we start, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me keeping this channel alive, and it doesn't cost you a thing, so thank you. Now, if you're a guitar nerd like me, then chances are you've seen that video he did in an unused nuclear reactor that was built in the 70s somewhere in Austria. He walked into this cold cavern of space and he just started playing guitar, and suddenly it was like the building itself became the instrument. It was like reverb for days, like literally seconds of tail. And I remember watching that and thinking, oh man, I need to feel what that must have felt like and what that sounds like under my fingers. And now, thanks to Cornerstone from Italy and Paul's collab, with this item, we actually can. And the NUCLEO promises to bring those nuclear reactor sized reverbs to our pedal boards, but it goes way beyond that. This thing is also packed with some custom lo-fi and vintage voicings, ambient mods, and some creative controls that push way past your average reverb. So generally, I am not a reverb guy, I am way more into delay pedals, but this piece was literally bugging me for a while cause it looked so promising. Now here's the thing, I haven't even plugged it in yet and I haven't even played a single note with it yet. It is a true first impression video, so we will go through it and explore it together, if it's as good as it was expected and if the hype is real around it. So it's running into my Tone King Imperial MKII combo, which is, we all know, is one of the cleanest and most touch sensitive amps out there, so this pedal better be ready to sing. But before we get into the sounds, let me just say that this might be the best looking pedal I've ever seen. It's like a 1970s sci-fi space station meets boutique Italian art. Very stylish and in my opinion one of the best pedal designs ever. So if nothing else, it definitely wins the design of the year. But yeah, okay, enough talk and time to find out if the NUCLEO is just a visual masterpiece or if it actually can capture that ghostly cinematic decay from the reactor. So let's fire it up. So I'm going to put it on the board now. Before I hook it up, I will show it to you. You have a bunch of connection options on it. So it can run stereo. It's a single input, of course. It runs on 9 volts DC, center negative, of course, standard. And there's a MIDI in and MIDI out, so you can capture and store presets on it, and there's also a USB-C here, so yeah. Basic setup, there are 2 foot switches, bypass, so it activates the pedal, and then there's the freeze button, so I think there is a freeze option on it. There is a bunch of these smaller potties, but we will find out what they do. Okay, so I'm going to connect it mono into the amp. Okay, here comes the cover, input and out mono. All right, that's it. Okay, so let's fire it up. Here comes the moment of truth. That was the clean tone. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the basic options. So here we have 3 of the options, 3 of the reverb modes. So room, which is like the control room of the nuclear reactor, then there is a hole, and of course the reactor chamber. So yeah, there are 3 of these faders. So mod, air and flux. So these are modulations, and the blend, which is the dry wet signal. So let's first start with the room and let's blend the signal. It's immediately you can hear it how musical it is, so it's like a beautiful and lush reverb. I know it's a cliche sounding phrase, but it is, man. Okay, and this was only the room, so let's go to the hall. You can hear that it's already bigger sounding, and it just has that depth to it, and reacts to your dynamics. So if you dig in harder, it reacts just like an actual room or a hall would react to your loudness. Okay, and now we all are interested, what does the reactor sound like? So it's huge. The problem generally, my problem with reverbs are that you know, when you put in a huge sounding delay with huge decay and you know, just a full-on wet signal, it's not musical and it's not playable. It just somehow stays in the way of your playing, and with this one I don't have that feeling at all, because honestly, I hate huge reverbs. I mentioned it, I am not a reverb guy, I'm more into delays. But this one is beautiful, so... Jesus. Okay, here are three knobs, the decay, tone, and freeze pitch. So the decay is, well, obviously, the decay, so... When it's maxed out, then you can still hear the decay. So we're going to reduce it to minimum. And it's shorter. I actually liked it around the middle. Yeah, it maybe a little less. Okay, so the reactor option is now a bit huge. I'm going to switch it to the whole one to fine-tune it, because then we can hear clearer what these small mod options sound like. The tone. And of course, it reduces that higher mid-range. and highs. I like it a little bit darker, so tone around 9-10 o'clock. That's really cool. Freeze pitch. Okay, why not? Why not? Let's try to freeze it. Okay, so if I'm not sure how it works. No, I think you have to play first and then hit the freeze. So let's do an E. It holds the E. And the tone reacts on the freeze sound as well. And also the decay raises. For now it's beautiful and I'm just amazed. Okay, let's play around with the mod and these faders. Go to the reactor mode, of course. It adds a slight of this wobble, like a... well, not exactly chorus, neither a vibrato, just like this... some kind of subtle movement. So it's not linear as like a classic reverb, there is something happening, it makes the reverb feel alive a bit. Which sounds a little creepy, but okay. And you can hear it in the trails, of course. Okay, so let's max it out. And when you max it out, then it's like a full-on chorus on it. Let's back it up to around the middle. Yeah, you can hear it subtly even when it's, you know, just a little bit engaged, but I like it here somewhere around the middle. Not too much, just tasteful. And okay, what's the air? Oh yeah, that as that shimmering octave up kind of thing. The angel singing kind of thing. So, worship guitarists, this pedal is 100% for you guys. We don't want too much of it. Okay, let's raise the decay a little bit, put it in. Let's try the room a little bit. And in reactor mode, with this pedal you don't need another instrument next to you, you don't need a band, you just need your guitar and this pedal and it's already a thing, so I think less words say more here. So, okay, check out the Flux. I'm going to back up the air like here. Let's check out the Flux, what it does. Max it out. Let's check it. Oh, but that's this kind of appregiato. Rhythmical pattern to the trails. Like that radioactivity meter. I can imagine when you connect it to stereo, then maybe this pattern moves like left and right. I cannot check it right now because I'm limited to one mono channel. But if you know, then write it in the comments if it can do the stereo ping pong thing with the Flux. It's crazily good sounding. It's on some pedals you would say that it's like, you know, what the hell? You don't need that kind of an effect on a reverb. Because it's such a, I don't know, too much. With this pedal it's not the case, it just works very musically. So how I would compare it, like, you know, Paul David's game, he gave his name for this pedal. So, and how would you describe Paul David's style and playing? Well, tasteful and classy. So that's how this pedal sounds, tasteful and classy. And this flux capacitor, I always remind myself to the Back to the Future movie. Okay, so let's set it up with subtly a little bit more air, more modulation, and this flux just a tiny bit. Put it in the whole mode, and okay, decay here around the middle, tone a little bit brighter than 12 o'clock, and the freeze pitch. Oh, what's that? So I didn't check that this one. Let's play with like that. So you can move the pitch on the freeze option. Okay, now let's get into these secondary options. With this Atari kind of button, we just switch it to the second mode. Then there is the lo-fi, vintage, and normal mode. So let's try with the lo-fi first. Okay, I'm going to blend the signal around 3 o'clock, sorry. It adds that kind of lo-fi saturation to the guitar sound as well, and not just to the reverb. So it acts like you know, some kind of an saturation, not saying overdrive, but something like that. It affects the gain stage of the guitar after, or like, I don't know, lo-fi vibe. That's it. Let's go to the vintage mode. The vintage mode also adds this some kind of a like a tape saturation, or that's somehow this dirtiness to the guitar sound as well. So without, with it. Normal mode. And back to the original Reactor. That's the sound, right? You just have to play it right. I don't know, guys. You heard it. So yeah, I like it. I like it. Good one. Okay, so first impression, the hype is absolutely real. This isn't just a simple reverb, it's completely crazy and out of this world, and yeah, it's like an emotion. I can just congratulate Paul Davids and Cornerstone on creating this masterpiece, so big props to Cornerstone for not just slapping a signature on a shimmer reverb and calling it a day. They literally spent a year fine-tuning this thing and completely reprogramming it halfway through to get the best results, and they clearly put in the work here, and it shows in both the sound and the vibe too. So my verdict is big thumbs up for this one, and it just literally became my favorite reverb pedal, so it's just so much fun. So anyway, I'm going to keep exploring this thing and probably lose half my day to it. And let me know in the comments, are you into these kind of ambient cinematic reverbs, or is this just too much space for your board? And if you liked what you heard, hit like, subscribe and help this basement glowing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And the perfect tone is always just within reach.